All right, there we go. This should be ready. Interesting that it's not quiet. It's pretty cold in here though, so. All right, folks. It looks like I'm not moving after all, at least not for a while. Next year, maybe sometime during the summer, we'll see what happens. The landlord lost its day in court, and the new owner, unless he wants to pay me the $12,000 that is required by law, well, then I guess he'll just never be able to have the house. And so I guess he didn't want it that badly, you know? So we're gonna do some big fat dabs. Fuck up our motherfucking shit. It's gonna be a glorious moment in time. Dabbage. See, he's gonna pay either way, folks. He thinks somehow he's gonna get out of it, right? He could have paid right at the beginning and he'd already be having the house and re-renting it for his ridiculous price. But no, he thought he could be a sleazeball. Of course, I detected his sleaze. My sleaze meter went off the first day I met him. And you know what? The sleaze meter went off when the judge heard it, heard his excuses too. You know? Yeah. Doesn't take a rocket scientist that a millionaire isn't going to be moving into this fucking ghetto house. You know, folks? It just doesn't take a lot of, thought to it. And so, and yeah, buddy Peter the Slimeball, he lives in Millionaire Boulevard, right, folks? Imagine you'd go leave Millionaire Boulevard to go live in the ghetto in some teardown special that has many issues. Yeah, that sounds about right, eh? That's what everybody's dreaming of doing, eh? Fuck. Doesn't take a whole lot of rocket scientists to see this guy's a sleazeball. And so, yeah, you can pay or just never take occupation. You know? That's how it's going to go down. So we're not moving after all, folks. We'll be here a while. We'll keep you posted on the possible day when we would be moving. And so here we go. No, they're not masks. We don't have to wear face masks out here. It's totally optional. Like they put a sign in the window at the store. But like I was just shopping today at the superstore. Nobody asked me to wear a mask. No, went shopping earlier than that over at the Thrifties. Nobody asked me to wear one there either. No, it's not really required. It's voluntarily because the legal system's given up on trying to enforce this shit, right? as as we predicted way back in the, well, it's the way it was even in Vancouver, as we all know. In Vancouver, folks, 50% of the restaurants and stores never ever even put a sign in the window. Forget about not enforcing it. They didn't even put a sign in the window saying to wear a mask. You know, they're just like, fuck this. But here in Duncan, you got to at least put a sign in the window because it's a small town, and even though it's a hinky-dinky police force, it's easy for them to victimize you because there's not very much business here to begin with, you know? Maybe 200 stores in the whole area, so it's easy to track you down. But in Vancouver, where there's, 20,000 restaurants and another 20,000 stores, and a police force of like 3,900, you can see how it's, well, impossible to regulate. And so here we go. My bank doesn't even put a sign in the window, folks. No, not even a sign at the bank. Because the bank, folks, there's only one thing they give a fuck about. That's cash. Cash is king. If you live or die, it's not relevant to the bank. They get to keep your cash either way. If you're living, well, you already have your cash in their bank account. So they're doing good. And if you die, they get to keep your cash until somebody makes claim to it, which sometimes nobody does, and they get to keep it all together. And so, fuck, they couldn't give a fuck either way. No, they couldn't. Especially my bank, just a bunch of slime balls, like any other bank, I'm sure. Folks, my dad, he was a banker. That was his first scam. He worked for the International Mortgage Department of the banks. He stole 30 something $million from them before they finally caught on to his scam of leeching little bits out of each mortgage. And when they caught him, they're like, you're fired, right? And he was like, that's fine. You can fire me. I'm just going to head on over to the media and let them know why I got fired today and how I pulled off the scam. And then they were like, how much more money do we need to give you to shut you the fuck up? And he ended up taking more double-digit millions for keeping quiet, right? Because they didn't want the scam out because, folks, they all take advantage of it, right? Oh, they do. They just didn't know he was aware. And so that's that. And that's how he got into the hotel restaurant business. After screwing the bank for about $70 million, he moved on to better enterprises. So we're going to do a big fat dab. Fire in the hall. Yeah, and then my dad, this is another funny story, folks. He used to have to, when he was in the hospitality business, he used to have to deal with these union bosses, And back then, people actually got results, and so union bosses had to be pretty tough and violent. And, well, my dad returned the favor, let me just say. And you know how they like to bribe you, give you money in the middle of the night? They used to knock on my dad's door all the time in the middle of the night, trying to make deals. And my dad would take their money every single time. But you know what? That didn't mean he made a deal with you. Then 3 months later, the guy would be like, what the fuck? I gave you all this money and you're fucking us over now? And he's like, dude, you did all the talking. All I did was put my hand out and take the fucking money. You know? Oh, he pulled that one like more times than I can count. Yeah, first. Yeah, I'll take your money. Doesn't mean I fucking like you. Or I'm even going to agree with anything you have to say. Oh, you know it, eh? Anyways, fire in the hall. And then they'd get all pissed off at him and hire goons, right? Of course, my dad's expecting these goons. And so he has his goons on standby, waiting for the glorious moment that they show up. Upon them showing up, he beats the shit out of them with baseball bats and then goes to the union boss's house and beats the shit out of him with baseball bat for sending the goons to his house. Oh, it's true, folks. And then the union boss would be in the hospital with broken legs and a few broken ribs and stuff like that. And all the other employees, this is how the results got happened back in the day, folks, not like the pussies that do things today. And then he'd be in the hospital and all the other workers would come visit him in the hospital and they'd be like, what happened? How did this happen to you? And he'd be like, the bosses, they fucked us over and then they did this to me when I tried to confront them. And all of the workers are like, oh my God, these fucking guys are out of control. And before you know it, half your factory's on fire, cars are being rolled over, and you're ready to negotiate now, right? Because you want to stop the riots. Oh. Not like these pussies nowadays who just make a phone call and try to negotiate verbally with you. And of course, it goes nowhere fast, as we know. And yeah, those kinds of people wouldn't have survived back in the day, folks. The pussies they got running things now. Nowadays, holy fuck. These cocksuckers are not only pussies, they're incredibly easy to rip off and take advantage of, which makes the union money in danger, which it's already been looted and pillaged, folks. So it's not really in danger. It's already been stolen. But it was in danger of being fucking looted and pillaged. Of course, it's already been looted and pillaged. Most of the unions have been looted already because the morons were running them and made it easy. And yeah. And now all that money's gone. Oh, yeah. They can't even afford to go on fucking strike now because they can't afford to pay the workers when they're on strike because they fucking looted all the money. And so anyways, see, back then, not only did they put their life on the line, but they made sure the money was secure because they weren't fucking stupid like the morons of today. Oh, folks, like I see these people on the news. Are you ready for this one? They're getting scammed by Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, they meet somebody on Instagram. I'm sure you've all gotten the messages before. And the guy on Instagram befriends them for like 2 or 3 months and then goes, oh, I know this great site for buying Bitcoin. And before you know it, you're buying Bitcoin there and you're getting ripped off, right? And I'm just like, who are these stupid people? Holy fuck. My 9-year-old knows this scam and knows not to fall for it. Like, holy fuck, there's some stupid out there, folks. Like, that's just a whole new level of stupid. It's like, whoa, over my head. Or how about these people? Another one, folks. They're so desperate for a relationship. They met some person on Instagram or Facebook once again. So a fake entity, right? And then they send him money because he promises to come visit them and be their lover or something. It's wow. I just don't know what to say to that level of stupidity, folks. I mean, my dog is fucking smarter than that. Holy fuck. Oh my God. You know? Who falls for this shit? You know, they phone me and I write back. I'm like, does this scam ever work for anybody, you know? But I guess it does. They got it on the news saying it's ripped people off for millions. Oh, fuck. It's hilarious. It's like, how did you even accumulate any cash in the first place? I mean, the world's a rough place out there. Once anybody notices you have anything of value, they try and fucking swindle it out of you, you know? And so it's like, how did you even accumulate any cash to get ripped off of in the first place? That fucking stupid. It's mind-boggling. Maybe somebody died and left it to him, you know? Oh, fuck. It's like, holy fuck. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that slime ball Peter. He thinks $3,000 or $4,000 is going to make me move early and have to reorganize my life and be heavily inconvenienced. He was sadly mistaken. The last time we spoke, guys, he was like, why won't you be reasonable and just take some money and we can all be happy and move forward? I'm like, I won't be happy, you fucking slime ball, because I'm going to get 12 grand out of you either way, right? You can give it to me now. Or I can stay here for a fucking year and then you can give it to me. Either way, you're going to give it to me. Or you'll never fucking occupy the house. Oh, fuck. So anyways, he's like, how come? Because I tell him he has to talk to my friend, you know, instead of me. Because, you know, nobody wants to talk to this slime ball. And so he's always like, how come she's never here? And I'm like, because she hates you. And he's like, well, that's a pretty strong word for somebody she's never met. I'm like, she doesn't have to meet you to know you're a piece of shit. I played her your little spiel you gave me the first day we met. Fucking it said all we needed to know. You know? Oh, fuck. You should have heard this little spiel. This guy knocks on my door at like 8:30 in the morning. So, you know, we don't like people knocking on our door at 8:30 in the morning to begin with. And then he's like, got like this sales pitch, like a car salesman style. He's even written down notes. Oh, fuck. My scumbag radar went off before he even spoke the first word. Just went, woo, 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 scumbag, scumbag. Oh, it did. Oh. Fuck. Looked like he was like one of these people who used to come to my dad's hotel looking for a job. You know? And they got all their best fucking lines all ready for you and everything. Oh, man. It's hilarious. And then he said in that spiel that he'll never pay the 12,000. So then he's like, why won't we negotiate? It's like, what's to negotiate? You said you wouldn't pay. That's it. I know I'll get it either way. So if you don't want to pay it now, then you'll have to pay it in a year from now. But he'll be paying it either way. He's getting really bad legal advice. Anyways, here we go. Fire in the hall. Oh man. So I'm staying in the current house I live in till well, minimum the next 5 months, right? Could be longer, it's hard to say. But the minimum is another 5 months. And so we're looking at April the 1st would be the quickest they could possibly move me out. And that was, of course, only if I agreed to the terms. Because I could always file an appeal if I thought things weren't going in my favor. But as it stands, no paperwork has been posted on my door, so it could be longer. And he has to go get all the permits for his renovation. Now that we know he's full of shit, he mean as well. He has to go file the permits, and he tried to pretend he was going to move in, folks. That's when my bullshit meter really went off, you know? Because we have the guy's address, right? And he lives down in Millionaire Boulevard, basically. And yeah, he wants to come down to the ghetto and live in a 40-year-old teardown special, you know? Oh, yeah. I bet he does. That's what all millionaires fantasize about doing, you know? Selling their mansion to go live in the ghetto. Oh, fuck. Like, I mean, guy's a piece of work, right? So, yeah. So we're here till spring at least. April, probably a little longer. Unless at some point he decides to pay the $12,000. Well, then I would agree to move, right? I guess then we'd speed things up. He's not that right. So, anyways, fire in the hall. Oh, fuck. The sludge. And my new cabin, it's coming along really well. We got the wood stove in there now. It's looking pretty good. Probably gonna go there next week, do some more work on it. Cause you fucked up my senses like a night in a fucking forest. Like a goddamn fucking mountain in springtime. Like a walk in the rain. Like a storm in a desert. Like a sleepy blue ocean. You fucked up my senses. Come fuck me once again. Na 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 na. La 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 la. Oh, our friend over at Sublimator, folks, he got some goats. Bah! I told him you don't want goats. They're so naughty. That's why the Satanists like the goat horns and stuff, because goat's always up to no good, you know? Oh, he is. Always up to no good. If you have something you don't want the goats to get at, even though you haven't told them about it, rest assured it's going to be one of the first things they find and destroy. Oh, yeah. Fuck. They can't wait to destroy it. Goats live for destroying things, you know? Oh, yeah, fucking goats. Good times. We had goats last summer, but they were they're frozen now in the freezer, all butchered. Unfortunately, their time had come, folks. And now we can make some fine Caribbean cuisine, because in the Caribbean, goat and chicken is about the only meat people eat, right? Well, at least back in the day. And so there you go. Gonna do a big fat dab. Oh, I already have a big fat dab on the dab stick. And so, yeah. Oh, and you know all my favorite chickens, folks. Some of them recently passed away, and I didn't tell you about it. Betty Lou. She's been canned, folks, and so she's in a jar now in the basement. And Mae West, she got turned into soup. I heard it was good. Big Red's still going though. He's still out there. showing off his muscles. And Dolly Parton's still out there, but she lost her friends. Dolly used to have a little herd, and the herd, well, they got turned into things. And yeah, that's what happens, you know. And the duckies, folks, you remember the cute little duckies? Well, we didn't do anything to them, but something did, right? And it got them all. A nasty mink or something like that. Um, Too bad we didn't catch it in the act, or it would be hanging on the edge of a pitchfork on the side of a tree for the others of its kind to see, to know that this ain't a friendly hood to walk through. That's what you do, you know? And so it is. Oh, the Sasquatch may have done it. You're right. Now, this is a possibility. I never heard of the Sasquatch in this area, but you never know. I don't know a lot of the legends out here. And so there could be the Sasquatch. You never know. Mm. Yeah, raccoons can, but they tend to not wander on our property because they're smart and they've bared witness to the horrible crimes against humanity that happened to other raccoons that did walk on the property. That's basically what that comes down to. And so they tend to not be that, do that. Yeah. Yeah, the guy who takes care of that kind of problem, when he sees a raccoon bothering the critters on the property, he rams them with a pitchfork and then spears them to the side of a tree, and they're stuck there screaming and yelling till they die. No other critter comes near the place. It's like, yeah, they're like, we're out of here. And so we got this big fat dam. My grandmother used to shoot the raccoons and foxes and minks and stuff like that, and then she'd make meat pie. And this meat pie was like really good. And I would have friends over from school, you know, and we'd all be having some meat pie, and they'd be like, "Holy man, this is the most amazing meat pie I ever had. What's in it?" And then my grandmother'd be like raccoon, squirrel, stuff like that, you know. Oh yeah, it's good times. Yeah, no, raccoons, they're vicious. In Vancouver, I had some pet skunks. I used to leave food out for them because my neighbor didn't like them. That was the guy in the other building who was like, called the dog pound on my dog. Cost me like $200 to get her back. And then he denies it, right? Because he thinks I was born yesterday. And oh, and so I had the pet skunks. It was good times. Yeah. And then he poisoned the skunks, right? Because that's the kind of scumbag he is. So he had this fruit tree in his front yard, and I had some people chop it down. He's like out there crying, "What happened to my tree?" I'm like, "I don't know what happened to the skunks." And then we never spoke for like 6 years. Yeah. But he didn't poison any more skunks, at least. We had like this 10-foot fence, privacy fence. And that's the only reason we had to speak to him again because it started, his retaining wall was starting to fail and push up against our fence. And because he's like a slumlord, we had to call the city on him. And you know how the process goes. And it's going to cost him a lot of money to get that shit fixed. Which it did. It's still in the process. Well, I should do another big fat damp. And then I think I gotta run, folks. Got things to do. Gonna make a lemon loaf tonight. And maybe a couple loaves of bread. There we go. Hmm. Oh yeah, I'll keep my Halloween decorations up most of the year, but I didn't put any up here at this place hardly, like next to nothing. But since now we know we're not moving, we'll put up a whole bunch of shit for Christmas. La 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 la. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. Ba-da-lum, ba-da-lum, ba-da-dum, bum bum. Maybe even go get a tree. One of those live trees, you know. Be good times. And a can of fake snow. I don't have all that many Christmas stuff, but I have still quite a box full of it. Oh yeah, I make soup all the time with freshly killed chicken, not the corporate tortured chicken. So I gotta run. Until next time, peace out.